From portals you can switch off and on, to these spraying farm sprinklers, here are the craziest Minecraft build hacks you need to try. Like this upside down farm? By renaming mobs to Dinnerbone and tying them up to fence posts, players can create this rather unusual sight that's guaranteed to confuse their friends. Though you could instead impress them with this working grandfather clock. Using an observer, daylight sensor, and a bell, players can rig up this detailed grandfather clock design that will actually ring whenever the time changes, letting you know when it's safe to go outside. But why go outside when you could instead stare at this laptop? When will my dad be back with the milk? Built using an armor stand and chainmail helmet for the keyboard, with a banner and custom player head for the screen, players can make this neat little computer to watch cool videos, or learn how to create one of these fish drying racks, which is as simple as setting up some wood, chains, and invisible item frames to hang up and sun dry all them delicious fish. Makes for a cool way to display them, even if it'd be way cooler to trap and display hostile mobs. Though it can be tricky, if players lure a mob in and trap them like so, with the fence at the bottom, they can then push the glass into place for this awesome design. Any mob can be stuck in here, even creepers, without the threat of explosion. Though players that are feeling extra devious can even build this torture device for their hostile mobs or villagers. Where is your secret base?
It's down the hall and to the left.
Oh, okay, thanks.
No problem.
Whoa! Looks like someone rigged up an awesome moving light path and wall using 1.21's new crafter blocks. As items travel through this line, they're crafted and uncrafted in a constant cycle to create this cool effect. Although, players could also use this new block as a working keypad lock. Thanks to user EC342, with the proper setup, this door will only open as long as a specific item is crafted inside of it. Bingo! And inside we have this awesome looking chest filled with sparkling amethyst. Built with a variety of wood, crystals, and a banner lock, it's gorgeous and functional, as players can store their valuables inside the barrels. Then I can safely travel with my loot using this trapped bridge. For those looking for a fun way to prank their friends, a bridge like this makes it easy with a simple lever flick. Boop. Easily made with some redstone-lined trapdoors, anyone can create this deadly dropper. You could even have them fall into a pit of these piranha plants. Made from a custom player head and a potted bamboo or fern, players can make cool large flowers for their builds. Ouch! Why, you little... Though, if you need to gain some air in a hurry, use this wind booster. Whoa! Simple to make, using just 4 dispensers filled with wind charges. Just press a button and boom! You're airborne! Or you could take it to the extreme with this wind trampoline. With its constantly dispensing wind charges pointed upwards, players could use it to get some insane airtime. Or travel around their base. Of course, it's not the most subtle. For that, players should instead build these invisible stairs. Utilizing pistons and stairs placed in a specific way, anyone can create stairs that are entirely hidden until the item in this frame is rotated enough times. Not even the smartest detective could find it.
This is a wall!
Yeah, you're so observant. But what about that cracked glass? A really simple detail. By just adding glow lichen over glass blocks, players can make it appear cracked and damaged.
Like me! Ah!
For extra detail, you could even use walls like this alongside other blocks in a build to make it look like the area has been worn down or damaged, likely from some mischievous creepers. Ugh, creepy. Though, not not as creepy as these haunting eyes. A great way to scare your friends by just placing some ender eyes inside invisible glow frames deep underground. Players can make it look like something is watching from the darkness. And it is actually terrifying. I suppose a more reasonable use of glowing sacks would be to make these LED light strips. Made from signs with text like this, players can spruce up their epic gamer pads with some awesome looking lights, or go much bigger with a full-on neon sign like this. From a distance, the lights even seem to flicker and move, like something straight out of Cyberpunk. Why, it's almost as advanced as this adjustable enchanting room. Sometimes players just want to enchant at a lower level, and with this sticky piston setup, players can retract each bookshelf layer as needed to get the enchantments they want when they want them. Well, kinda. Ugh, I wanted fortune! Get out of my face! Ooh, well that looks delicious. Made from custom player heads and some invisible armor stands for the sticks, this cozy little setup makes for a great place to relax while devouring some tasty chicken. Now, are you tired of nether mobs constantly sneaking in through your open portal? What if I told you that with a simple addition of 2 dispensers set up like so, and a lever, players can create this on-off switch for their portals to keep those pesky mobs out?
Let me in! Let me in!
Now, some say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but what about the camera? Well, built from armor stands and custom player heads, players could craft one of their very own to capture each and every Minecraft moment. All right, say cheese! So, most players need somewhere to hide all their goodies. And while buried chests work well enough, I find it more fun to build secret bunkers under my double beds. Like this one that uses trapdoors and a minecart. Your friends will be none the wiser.
Yep, that's a bed!
Though, for those looking to add some detail to their builds, another good hack is to swap out some brick blocks in your wall with stairs. It's a super simple change that, if done right, can give the illusion of missing blocks and add some extra depth to an otherwise flat wall, which you could then defend with this working turret. Cause unlike other turrets we've shown off that attack players, this one targets hostile mobs by making use of snow golems stuck inside. And although their snowballs are fairly harmless, if fire is placed in front, the snowballs will somehow ignite and then set those baddies ablaze. Haha. Well, I guess you're out of a job now. When your pets have had a hard day, full of sleeping and eating and sleeping again, you'll want to build them a nice comfy crate like this to come home to. Using new copper trapdoors and some carpet on the floor, players can make sure their pets feel safe and secure. Though players could also build one of these giant copper golems. A build that'll put any iron golem to shame. This big boy can be made using various copper blocks and a banner for the face to let other players know you mean business. Or, if you'd rather a more welcoming tune, you could build yourself this working doorbell. With just 2 note blocks connected to a button, like so, players can make sure they'll know when their guests arrive. Oh, hey Carl.
Hi!
For the dance party! Aw, yeah!
Ooh, look! I'm busting a move!
Made especially groovy with the help of this sick boombox. Made from just a few player heads on armor stands, anyone can easily throw one together to have a party of their own while their copper pipes are busy transporting all their items. They not only look great thanks to the new copper trapdoors, but by using water to transport items instead of a bunch of hoppers, players can save a ton of iron. Though you might want to save some of that copper to build one of these these armored trucks. Cause it's a tough world out there. And sometimes to survive, players need to quickly create an awesome looking truck made from various blocks to hide inside of. I am going to be here a while. I probably should have built one of these dolphin speedways instead, so I could run at super speeds. It's a special path made from water, soul sand, and dolphins. And if a player then enchants boots with Deep Strider and Soul Speed, they'll be able to travel at incredible speeds. Though, if you add a swiftness potion on top, you might just break the sound barrier. Wow! Though super speed won't stop the mobs from spawning, unlike these automatic night lamps. Because by placing a daylight sensor on a redstone lantern and right-clicking it, players can easily create lights that'll instantly turn on when it gets dark and off when the sun comes up, helping you keep the mobs away without needing the lights on all day. But what about a farm that farms itself? Using just observers, pistons, and hoppers, anyone can easily create this automatic melon farm to get all the food without any of the work. Though players could also build this automatic bridge. It uses pistons, trapwire hooks, and string to create a walkway that fills in and retracts as the player moves. And because hostile mobs don't understand redstone, they're too stupid to cross. Haha, idiot!
Huh? Oh no.
Back! Shoo! Shoo! Whew. Thank goodness I have this water spraying sprinkler system. Using a dispenser filled with fireworks, along with 2 armor stands, water, and a trapdoor, farmers can create any number of awesome looking sprinkler systems to keep their crops happy and healthy. Your harvests might even be a little too big. Though, if that happens, players could also build themselves one of these wheelbarrow designs to be filled up to the brim with compost. Or you could use it for an intense wheelbarrow race. On your marks, get set, go! Eat my dust! No, eat mine! Oh, right, they don't move. Guess I'll build one of these rabbit traps instead. Made from a few trapdoors and a pressure plate, when the elusive rodents decide to help themselves to the carrot buffet, snap! They'll be trapped inside.
You can't do this to me! First time being caught, huh? Don't worry. This guy never does anything.
Oh boy, time to cook a delicious rabbit stew. In this stew pot. Made from armor stands and copper rods, players can create this detailed looking stew pot for all their cooking needs. It's good, but it's missing something.
Excuse me. What I meant to say was, I'm out of here!
While rabbit traps work well enough for rabbits, if you wanted to catch something a bit bigger, you should build one of these trapped pens. By outlining an area with pistons and lining some pressure plates along the inside, mobs will often wander into the pen, only to be trapped by the moving fences once inside. Sometimes you might even come back to a few too many. But then, you'd have a good excuse to use this rapid-fire fire cannon. Players can build one of their own by placing just a few observers and some redstone like this. Then, it can be used to rapidly fire out whatever the player wants, like arrows, fire, or even wind charges. Haha! Now, while tough bricks are only found in the trial chambers, they do also make for incredible looking ancient ruins when placed around like so, alongside this sword stuck in stone. Using an armor stand and copper rod, players can make this cool mini display to make it look like a sword is stuck. And I heard that whoever pulls it out becomes a king.
I wanna be king!
Or you could just build yourself this beautiful crystal throne. Because, made primarily from sparkling amethyst, you're sure to feel like a king without needing to pull out some stupid sword. You, Jester!
Huh?
Tell me a joke. Okay, a doctor walks into a bar and heard it, Flip. You're a bad king! Well, I guess I'll just stare out my new rustic windows instead. As thanks to 1.21, we've got new copper grate blocks that work, well, great as rustic windows, whether for a castle or a house. They let in just enough light to highlight the beauty of this pineapple made from honeycomb and a berry bush while you paint it on a banner canvas. Using these 6 patterns, it makes for a lovely set piece or wall decoration, though it can also be used to hide your valuables too. By rigging up pistons to a pressure plate hidden behind a painting like so, players can create a secret opening to hide all their valuable loot. Wait, where's my stuff?
Ah! I finally found a secret! Ah!
Which you can also protect with this copper fence. Aside from looking cool, during a lightning storm, it might just provide some extra protection by frying unlucky mobs or players. It'll certainly keep your dirt golem entertained. Made from a variety of earthly blocks, this big old fella makes for an inviting lawn ornament to your base, and is a lot easier to look at than this spooky eye in a jar. Using an armor stand, 1 custom head, and a glass block, players can place a pressure plate on top to create this creepy decoration. Though it can be helpful if left to keep an eye on your aquarium floor fishies. For those just looking for an excuse to add some extra color to their bases, building one of these with some coral and fish scattered about can really liven things up. Heck, maybe you even shove a guardian inside before you decorate the walls with hanging signs, because they make for a great way to add some unique detail to walls like these, or can even be used as walls themselves. The best part is, a wall like this will still prevent hostile mobs from entering, and you can easily shoot through the sign slits. Haha! I'm untouchable! What the? A fun little build. Using a variety of deep slate and lime glass for the beam, players can build this UFO that looks like it's abducting a mob. Though, when you start to get a little hungry, you could always make yourself this a nice pasta dish. With the clever use of some red coral in an item frame and yellow coral placed on a waterlogged trapdoor, players can create the illusion of some delicious spaghetti. Just make sure to do the dishes afterwards, because while using a custom player head on an armor stand can be used to create a nice dining environment, it can also be used to create stacks of unwashed dishes if just placed on its own. Dang. Or, instead of doing the dishes, you could just eat straight from the vine, using one of these beautiful glowberry farms. Instead of hanging vines around in caves, building a simple setup like this makes for an easy way to harvest some glowing berries. It's best to leave the caves with these special berry vines instead. A great way to decorate any stone wall, players could place vines over ore blocks like redstone, lapis, or gold to make it look like the vines are growing different berries. You could even make diamond berries. Just don't take a bite out of them. Huh, nothing happened. Thankfully, after a long day of eating diamonds, players can get an energy boost with this cup of coffee build. Created using an armor stand, custom player head, and end rod straw, any tired player will be refreshed and ready to take on this Cyborg Guardian, a giant robot mech suit piloted by an Elder Guardian. It watches you with the intent to kill. Though the worst it can do is give you mining fatigue. Annoying. And though he puts on a tough guy act, he's secretly self-conscious about his exposed tail. Like how I'm self-conscious about my cooking. Though my cooking skill is no fault of this amazing modern stove build. Copper minecarts with copper trapdoors on top make for an incredibly convincing burner. And with the smoking campfires underneath, players can even use them to cook their food before they need to get ready with one of these dresser builds. Using a crafter rotated in a specific way, players can make the block look like the handles of a dresser drawer. Not that I'd ever need one. I never change. Which is fine, right, Totem?
You smell bad.
Oh. Wait, I know how to fix this.
Wait, no!
Now, players can build a totem of their very own using armor stands and a variety of custom player heads. There we go. Now, new totem. Do I smell bad?
No?
Very good. Moving on, the new copper bulbs are fun, right? They make for great lamps using a rod and armor stand with a leather cap. Though they could also be used to create this amazingly detailed outdoor lamp. Built from a pot surrounded by trapdoors with a bell on top before the bulb. It's a no-brainer to create next to one of these mailboxes. Another great use for the crafter, it just takes a few blocks to throw together this mailbox design, which will only look better with some banner-made letters scattered around the ground. You just gotta keep an eye out for the tiny bus. Made from custom player heads, this cute little vehicle can make for a sweet ride. Well, as long as you're really small. In you go, Tiny Bonks.
Oh boy, off we go!
Sometimes, if you love them, you gotta let them go. Though, if you feel lonely, you could always craft some of these little robot guys. Made from a crafter block, along with a number of armor stands, an army of these fellas can be built around your base to project both power and cuteness. Though they are useless.
Hey!
Just like all these torches. Because who needs them when you've got invisible lights? Okay, not really. But by using some string and carpet, players are able to hide their light sources in the ceiling, which works great for those who prefer a more subtle lighting environment, like those in this industrial pipe cellar. With a combination of copper, a compass for a gauge, and banners for the water tanks, players can build this nice industrial pipe set to add detail to their builds. It pairs rather nicely with the Infinity Gauntlet! Built using custom player heads and an armor stand, this gauntlet contains the power of all universes! Why, I bet if I snap my fingers, I could... Hi, Bonks! Hi, Bonks! Say, this is a swell universe you've got here. Thanks. Be a real shame if one of us were evil, huh? Are you evil? Oh no! Quick, click the video and save yourselves!